Randy Orton makes an amusing request to MVP. Randy Orton had a request for MVP of the Hurt Business after he assured Bobby Lashley that he will try to arrange a US title match between him and Riddle. As previously reported, Bobby Lashley agreed to give Riddle a US title shot after the latter requested the same via his official Twitter handle. The exchange came around a week after Riddle defeated Lashley on Raw Legends Night in a non-title match. Lashley had tagged MVP in his tweet, hinting that he wants MVP to arrange the match. MVP was quick to respond to Lashley and told him that he'll make some calls. The tweet grabbed the attention of Randy Orton, who had a hilarious response to the same. WWE legend Randy Orton's Twitter and Instagram handles have always been goldmines for amusing content. Be it in teasing a move to All Elite Wrestling or sending a hilarious message to his arch-rival John Cena, Orton has always made fans chuckle with his hilarious posts on social media. Another tweet that Randy Orton had put up asking The Rock for a match at WrestleMania 36. The Rock jokingly rejected the offer and reminded Orton that his body is still recovering from the beatdown the Viper gave him at WrestleMania 20. Fans might remember that Orton, Ric Flair, and Batista faced The Rock and Mick Foley at WrestleMania 20 in 2004 in a winning effort. Fans were quick to sense what Randy Orton was hinting at in his response to MVP. Orton is one of the greatest heels in WWE history and has revitalized his career as a top villain over the past year. Similar to his work as a wrestler, when it comes to interacting with fellow superstars on Twitter, there aren't many who do it better than him. Bayley on her friendship with WWE's other horsewomen. Bayley has shared how she initially felt like an outcast among the four horsewomen back in her NXT days. The four horsewomen consist of Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. All four women have gone on to have great success both in NXT and on the main roster, with three of them becoming Women's Grand Slam champions. Speaking to Stone Cold Steve Austin on his Broken Skull Sessions show, former WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley expressed how she felt she was never really close with any of the horsewomen. It wasn't until her NXT TakeOver match with Sasha Banks that she started to feel closer with the group. I was kind of like the outcast because Sasha was very close with Charlotte and they would travel together all the time, and then she got very close with Becky and then they traveled together all the time. But I was never very close with any of them, until maybe obviously when we started doing the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn stuff, but then Sasha and I started getting closer and closer. We were always super close, text all the time, but when it came to traveling and outside of that stuff, I was never like that with Charlotte or Becky. Bayley and Sasha Banks are two of the most polarizing figures in the WWE women's division. Many believe the two had the best rivalry of 2020. Their closeness in real life can be given credit for the chemistry they display in the ring. Bayley felt she was very different from the rest of her group. Bayley also recalled how she felt she would outlast everyone else in the four horsewomen stable. She believed that her style was significantly different in comparison to the others and that it would make her better. I thought I was always super different than them, and I thought I was always going to be the one to outlast all of them and be the most consistent one. I guess I just saw myself differently because I had a different style, I guess. And in my own head, I just had to keep believing that I'm the best one. Bayley's offensive style is definitely a lot different in comparison to the rest of the women. Her offense is more hard-hitting in comparison to the more technical styles of the other three wrestlers. Who do you think was the best among the four horsewomen? Let us know down below. WWE announces Brodie Lee tribute episode of the New Day's Feel the Power podcast. The impact of Brodie Lee's passing on the WWE universe and the wrestling world in general is still being felt weeks later. Today, WWE announced that the latest edition of the New Day's Feel the Power podcast would be a tribute episode dedicated to Lee. It will undoubtedly be the most emotional podcast that the New Day has ever done. Between social media and WWE programming, only a few have been more vocal about remembering their fallen friend than Kofi Kingston, Woods, and WWE Intercontinental Champion Big E. If you're a weekly listener or choosing to listen for the first time, this is no doubt a can't miss an episode. WWE gave the following announcement earlier today on their website. The tragic passing of John Luke Harper Huber on December 26 shook the WWE universe and the wrestling world to its core, leading to an outpouring of stories, memories and tributes celebrating the former Intercontinental Champion as a competitor, as a cherished friend and his family. On tomorrow's special episode of the New Day's podcast, The New Day. Feel the Power, Kofi Kingston, Woods and Big E Invite special guests Cesaro, Tyler Breeze and Eric Rowan, Huber's longtime tag team partner, for an in-depth conversation about their friend, whose legacy in the ring, in the locker room and beyond, will live forever. Watch the full episode on the free version of WWE Network at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Listen and subscribe to The New Day. Feel the power on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. As WWE announced today on their website, The New Day will have special guests on this podcast episode and current WWE superstars Cesaro and Tyler Breeze, as well as former WWE star Eric Rowan. Fans last saw Lee's former tag team partner on the Brodie Lee tribute show of AEW Dynamite. Whether you choose to watch the video version of this podcast on the WWE Network on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or decide to listen to it online in typical audio format, an emotional tribute is guaranteed. Are you happy about this announcement regarding the New Day's podcast? How will you be checking out the episode? Let us know by sounding off in the comments section below.